asset crash is about to get worse, much worse. I'm talking even worse than 2008, because when I take a look at the combined value of the US housing market and stock market, I see that they're valued at over $80 trillion right now in the fall of 2022, which is absolutely insane because the size of the US economy, the GDP of America, is only $25 trillion. So literally asset prices are 3 times higher than the size of our economy, indicating that we have another 30%, 40%, maybe even 50% to go in this market crash.
You need to prepare yourself because this current recession might turn into a depression, and I'm going to reveal how that may happen. It comes from the experts. Historically, they say that Caterpillar stock is a good indicator of the market's direction. When Caterpillar stock goes down, stock market earnings also go down, but months later. We saw this happen back in 2008, 2014, and 2020. Guess what's happening again? Caterpillar stock is going down, but here's why we may be headed towards a depression and not just a recession. The S&P earnings haven't dropped yet, and experts say that we still have a lot further to go down. So, how could it get worse, you ask? Well, usually, consumer sentiment closely tracks corporate margins, but right now, there's a huge gap, which means corporate margins have the possibility of free fall. So what does that mean exactly? It means the stock market could crash again.
Is the housing market about to crash? In the last week, we have seen banks come out and say that they predict house prices to fall between 8 to 30% next year.
The outlook is bleak. A long recession, falling growth, rising unemployment.
Why would banks want to put fear into the UK property market? On the surface, it does not benefit them. So you think, and that's why you follow me. So I'll explain. Now, it could be that they want to get the common Steve to panic and sell his property. Remember, it was leaked that banks like Lloyds want to buy over 50,000 properties by 2030. They want to stop renting out properties themselves. If the market crashes, they can easily pick up these properties at a discount. Remember, nobody knows what's going to happen, but I would never rely on news articles to tell me and pressure me to doing something. Especially any public news articles coming from these big banks. They are a business. Their main incentive is to make profits for their shareholders. They're not trying to help you time the market in any way. That's the message for today. Take care.
People need to stop regurgitating what they hear and need to use critical thinking skills, especially when they're making claims publicly. Yep, I agree. And I'm sick and tired of hearing this recession nonsense on YouTube, TikTok, from people like you, everybody. So let's splash some cold water into your face with some truths, because you obviously don't understand something here. Since over 7 months, this recession narrative has been pushed because of 2 quarters of no growth, which is the official definition of a recession. And when 2 quarters of no growth hit last year in June, everyone sold off everything because we're in this big recession, right? Well, we're in a technical recession, not in a real one. And here are the facts. The average market money saving rate is about 3%. People are not saving money, they're spending it. Oh look, the unemployment rate is at 3.5%. Less than 4% is full employment. Just drive around in your neighborhood. You're from the US, not me. What do you see? Hiring signs everywhere. Does that look like a recession to you? Oh, look at the real inflation rate. It's not at 6%-ish. It's at over 10%. And mortgage rates are at 6.4% for a 30-year mortgage. So my question to you, when you can get a 30-year fixed mortgage for less than the official inflation rate, that's not exactly a deflationary recession, is it? Money market accounts are at half what the official inflation rate is, which is hardly encouraging saving. It's doing the opposite. It encourages spending. And even personal loan rates are on par with the inflation rate if we measured it the same way we did in the 80s. So now I want you to take all these facts and put the fact on top that we have full employment. But what about the bailouts? Well, the bailout already happened. The bailout for Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank already happened under the table. And in case of a bond crisis, they will simply bail out bond markets with printed money provided by the Fed. They're trying to postpone a bond crisis as far in the future as possible because 5% interest rates are not sustainable. So with all the bailouts made, where's this apocalyptic recession gonna come from? I'm asking you. Exactly, from nowhere, because we're not in one and we're not gonna be in one. What we're heading towards, though, is a stagflationary death spiral. All you're seeing in the stock market is us coming down from the bubble mania from 2020, where people were showered with free money. And that bubble is still gonna come down to at least 2019 levels. That's not a recession though. With interest rates approaching 5%, the government needs an excuse to cut rates fast before they go bankrupt. So they need to make inflation appear to go away, which is why energy markets are manipulated, and which is why they use base effects to make the CPI look like it's deflationary, while at the same time pushing the recession narrative so you buy bonds and monetize the debt for them. Stop arguing with me and start reading my market updates.